First question to Mr. Ganić, since he was last now. Did you ever discuss economic policy with Baroness Thatcher? Did she have ideas about it?
Well, when I was, she told me, yeah, when I talk about the school, or the university that I'm establishing, do you hear me?
Yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good.
Okay. When I was trying to project the contents, what should university cover? Okay. Of course, I discussed, and she was in love with private initiative. She said, nothing is so powerful as a good private initiative or well taught. So that she believed in a private initiative. Of course, I would say that, you know, British were not known as entrepreneurs in some way, because jet engine, magnetic resonance, first textile engines, all this was invented in Great Britain but sold by Americans. So this is that's a reality. And I told her that we are a small country, we would like to work very hard. There are so many educated people. And by the way, half of Bosnia and Herzegovina was expelled. And those people who were expelled out, they went to school. There are now some of them coming with a good education. So what we have now, we have half Bosnians all over the world, but well educated, and they send their major, almost major source of income for our country, because they send some money to the families and send kids here to school. So yes, I discussed with her. Of course, I know that I mentioned this to discuss with her about the advertising, you know, jet engines and everything. All these British great inventions are really mostly sold by Americans. So yes, we have a good business programs now at school as well.
Thank you to Mr. Peterle. What could today politicians learn from Baroness Thatcher?
I would say, I don't like to use the word ideology, but she developed a very consistent views, I would say, and she acted in line with them. She had, as it was said several times today, very clear ideas on communism or totalitarian regimes. And she had very, very clear ideas about what can be foundations of a free society. And I think that these ideas are still important, I would say even useful. I mean, it would be good to read Madam Thatcher again.
Thank you. Question for Mr. Granic. Were you maybe in contact with Baroness Thatcher during the Dayton agreements, or did she have comments on it, or in that time, or after, if you met her after?
I had no contact with Baroness Thatcher during the Dayton agreement, because we were 22 days in Wright-Patterson base, and but I spoke with her after that, especially when she came in July 1990, came 1991, 1998, in Croatia, on Zagreb on 2 days. I was the president of the committee. I told in my speech and she got honorary doctorate of the University of Zagreb. And during this time, we make analysis about the situation in Croatia, in Bosnia, Dayton Agreement, and she was a really impressive person. And I liked her because all the positions of her were clear, clear, including, especially she helped a lot, 1991, in June, July, because at this time, European community and United States were against independence of Croatia and Slovenia. And during this time, his position for strong support Croatia and Slovenia was extremely important for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ganić, what do you think, when would war in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia ended if Baroness Thatcher was in power in the 1991 and 1992?
Well, she wanted total defeat of Milosevic. And unfortunately, he was not defeated. In Dayton, he got almost entity what he occupied. So he has a legacy that is called Republika Srpska, which is one entity in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well, later on, when they discovered what he did, he was taken to The Hague and all the key people. So they were prosecuted, but their results stay. That was how to say, well, Holbrooke was in a hurry to become state secretary. President Clinton was in a hurry to get another elected. So Americans were trying to get that deal of the so many holes inside. And they really put together an agreement which did not include responsibility for Vukovar, for Srebrenica, for all so, you know, when you depend on the international community, it's hard to get enough support. We're a small country, we didn't have oil, we didn't have gas, we didn't have diamonds. So this strategic importance was not there. When even there were troops from Bosnia close to Banja Luka, also there were the Croatian forces on the other side, Holbrooke told them, don't move any further. So he wanted, how to say, giving the same chance to those who destroyed half of Bosnia and to us who were defending Bosnia. However, you know, we have to live with that and hope that new generation will be more responsible to fully reintegrate the country. And we hope that we'll become member of NATO so that at least we'll not worry against, because we see Croatia bought few planes from the French government, Serbs immediately bought new ones. So there is still in the Balkan region, and Russians are using that as an opportunity to expand their own, you know, attention from Ukraine to Balkan. So it's still, we worry a lot. And we hope that, how to say, the time will work for us somehow. And even now, American administration, which is a totally new, maybe one morning the president of America will wake up and say, enough is enough by Russia. So let's see, you know, we are a complicated country, Bosnia and Herzegovina. We work hard things can be done. We build a university. There are many private owners. So we are moving slowly ahead, but not fast enough, because the agreement that was signed, it brought the peace, but didn't make the working country. You know, that there is a possibility to block, to stop, to look for consensus for everything, and that is a kind of complicated. So Dayton Agreement we respect because it brought the peace, but didn't finish. That agreement didn't really solve didn't give mechanics how the country should function every day. And I was later on, as you know, the Brčko was created as a district, and I was involved with that. So we little bit repaired Dayton Agreement, but not quite enough. So we hope now that with the pressure that Bosnia will be left alone and we will build together a country with all the people there. There is a lot of corruption in the Balkan region. Now, you might not believe that you read a story that millions will appear in Slovenia, in Croatian coast, in Cyprus, in Russia, in Serbia. So, you know, we live life. We appreciate peace, but there is a lot of things to be done.
Thank you. Mr. Granic, you wanted to comment?
Concerning Dayton Agreement. Dayton Agreement stopped the war. First. Second, Bosnia and Herzegovina concerning the Dayton Agreement is a territorial integrity country of two entities, three constituent people. That's the basis for the future. Implementing separatism and unitarism in Bosnia is the same. I fully agree. It is absolutely necessary the presence of European Union and United States in Bosnia and Herzegovina on the protection of the basic Dayton Agreement. Naturally, everything what in negotiations, legal representative of all three peoples make. That's excellent. I think Croatia give full support Bosnia and Herzegovina as an independent country and European, and the future is European integration of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I fully agree. Country of law and strong fighting contra corruption. That's our position concerning the Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Mr. Peterle, last words, and then we finish.
Okay. You know that questions which start with the word if are not simple. And I will not speculate in that direction. I can only say that if Margaret Thatcher was still Prime Minister, maybe things will go in a different way, but we all know how is the so-called European Common Foreign and Security Policy. It did not exist before the wars in Balkans. It was formulated later. And we see how difficult it is to get unity on Ukraine or war in Israel and so on. Now, I would prefer that European Union and other powers would be able to discover or to understand earlier what may happen in Yugoslavia, to discover or to understand that there were no common denominators anymore. I think Yugoslavia was dead maybe even before Tito died. No? he was unifying factor, but nobody, in fact, was satisfied with Yugoslavia, and later the notion of so-called preventive diplomacy was developed. No, I would prefer that the preventive diplomacy was established before already, and then the world was surprised by the developments. No, I think we need really a united policy, which of course can only be successful if it's based on the shared understanding of the situation.
Thank you, gentlemen. I would invite everyone to come for wine in the hallway there, and I would thank all of our speakers, and I would invite them to in front of the screen to have a picture of all of us to have our remembrance in the future of this conference. Thank you very much also to all of our patient audience. One clap for you.